As I said, I live in Ashdod. I'm the commander of the Zaka South region, and October 7th, I'm doing this for the last 33 years. I'm one of the founders of Zaka. Zaka is an organization, it's a volunteer organization. The definition for Zaka is Zihui Korbanot Ason, identifying every unnatural death, and that's we have it only in our nation, because we know only by the Eden, only by the Jews that we have this kind of organization, and that's because this is one of the things that has to be. That's one of the things that it says in the Torah that we have to do, and this is also because it says Ki Adam hu hanefesh, the blood is the soil. A person can live without a feet, without a hand, without any other, but he cannot live without blood. So therefore, any accident, anything that happens that it's an unnatural death, we are going to be there, and not only in Israel but in the world. Our team was all over the world. We were natural disasters and terror attacks, and I can start going back from only 7.5 months. I came back from Turkey, where there was an earthquake. We saved, our team only saved 19 Muslims. Those Muslims are now against us. And we went out to save. We were in India, 9/11. I'm a survivor of the 9/11 attack, me myself. I was in Surfside. I was in Haiti, Brazil, all over. You name it, we're gonna be there. And not only if we know for sure we're gonna be there, if we know for sure that it's Jewish people, but not only Jewish people, we're recognized by the United Nations as a search and rescue unit. We have in Israel we have about almost 2,000 volunteers. We have Johannesburg, Mexico, France, London, all over. We have our team that will be Ukraine, that we're going to be there in case of anything that happens, and we're going to be there. October 7th, by the way, was founded 1989 when a terrorist threw a bus coming from Tel Aviv to Yerushalayim, bus number 405. 17 people were killed, 40 people were injured. The bus went on a fire. A lot of those victims couldn't be identified, and there was no one to handle that. So we came up as a first responder, as an EMT. We came over there and we tried to help people, and then we decided that we're gonna establish an organization called Chesed Shel Emes, and then we changed it in 1995. We changed it to Zaka, Ziyu Korbanot Ason, and also it has another definition, Zaka, Zekiru Vachim. It brings our brothers together. Zekiru Vachim is also Zaka. October 7th, Simchas Torah in the morning, as everybody knows, 6:30 in the morning, everybody was sleeping. I live in Ashdod. I'm used to sirens for the last 25 years. We hear it, we have it all the time. And right in the back of my house is the iron dump, and we feed the missiles. All the kids, my grandchildren, the kids, they all run into the shelter room. I don't know where's the shelter room in my house because I never go in the shelter room. The first thing, as a first responder, I go down and I wait to hear and to give my team instructions. If there is a missile, if a missile fell, if anybody's injured or killed, if a missile hit anybody, then we have to be over there. But what happened over here, usually we are used to security in this kibbutz, and the kibbutz Nir Oz. And first of all, we want to thank him for allowing us to come in. And it's very important, and I just want to tell you one thing, that as I said before, we are here not only to support Israel, and for sure you're coming to visit and you're giving it's a support, but we have to show the support for the kibbutz. The kibbutz is a private residence, private people. They were hurt very much of this attack, and we all, as brothers and sisters, as united together, we have to make sure that the kibbutz has some benefits out of the hostages. Okay? כמה חזרו פה? איפה הוא? כמה חזרו כבר לפה? כמה חזרו נשאר עוד 45. 40 people came back already, and 45 is still over there that we don't know what's going on with them. And the three hostages that were killed by our own forces, it's not from here. The two is from Kfar Aza, and one is a Bedouin that was killed. So from here, from this kibbutz, as we said, 45 people is still captured, and we have to hope and we have to make sure that they're coming back.
Amen. Amen. This is the Bilba's family?
This is the Bivas family.
Was the father also taken?
The father was taken.
The baby was taken, and the mother and the little boy Ariel.
He's a blogger. He's like
Terrorist blogger?
Yes, a terrorist blogger. That he was talking for he worked for AP or something like that.
Embedded in the
Yes, and he was a part of the invasion, a part of the terrorist invasion.
She was in Khan Younis. She came back. She's feeling much better now. And if you want to take a look inside, this is where Yahalomi family used to live. Ohad tried to scare the terrorists. He had a gun, a pistol, and he had a fight inside the house. They threw 3 hand grenades inside this house. You can see
All the bullet holes.
those are not bullet holes.
That's from the grenade.
That's from the grenade. Yeah, it's too small.
All the holes.
So 3 hand grenades inside this house. He asked the terrorists to take only him and not his family. So they took just him, and then after they took him, they took the
Son.
They took the entire family, his wife and his son and a daughter. On the way to Gaza, the wife was on a motorcycle with her daughter, and she managed to escape. So really close to the border, she could get off the bike and laid on the ground and pretend to be dead, and then ran back to the kibbutz with her daughter, but the son stayed in Gaza. He has been released.
I'll tell you, a lot of these hostages were taken not exactly by Hamas terrorists, but they call themselves that uninvolved, but they're all involved, they're all terrorists, but they came, and therefore this is now when they say that with the last deal that we tried to do, the Hamas came and said there's a lot of hostages that we don't know exactly where they are, because there's private people, call them private people, that took them. Same thing on this motorcycle, his wife and daughter wasn't exactly with a Hamas terrorist. It could be they were with just
Innocent civilians.
As I told you, the first time that someone from the kibbutz see the terrorist, it was right here near the ambulance. That's one of the first things the terrorists did, and they were dressed in the IDF uniforms. So that's we can call it the first wave. Hamas terrorists with IDF uniforms. After that, you had plenty of weaponized terrorists, and after that came a lot of just plain people from Gaza that got interested, and
they robbed
and they kidnapped
and they tortured and they raped, and that's what they did. One of the techniques of those Hamas terrorists, when they came in every kibbutz, wherever we are, the first thing they shot the engine of the cars, because to determine that nobody should be able to run away. So they made sure that you can't go into your car, and if anybody was in the car, he was shot and killed.
There's not a single car in the kibbutz that was unharmed. We have a lot of witnesses from the kibbutz that saw children and women from Gaza in this kibbutz. Just came to check and to cause as much harm as they can.
And a lot of them was working in the kibbutzim. They had work. They knew the people, and they were getting money from the people not from Hamas. We hired them. We gave them money. The people gave them money. We gave them food. We brought them to doctors, and we were like, and they came in. And they had all the information, how many people lives in this house, and they gave all the information. They traded us, and they were part of the murderers. There's one story. I think the story is in for Aza, that there was a woman that she decided she wants to keep Shabbat. And her husband and kids didn't agree with her, so she left every week for Shabbat. She left the house. Then a couple of months later, the husband decided that he's joining his wife, and they left for every Shabbat. They weren't home. They left for every Shabbat. And this Shabbat, Simchat Torah, October 7th, they had guests. She was pregnant. they had guests in the house, and they were there in the kibbutz for this Shabbat, and they heard the terrorist talking while there was one terrorist that gave instructions for the murderers. In this house, nobody is in there because they leave every Shabbat, so they're not there. So they just skipped that house and they went on, and they were saved.
They found it actually in the pocket of the guys with the sheets of all the thing, and said this house.
That's
another thing.
Yes, that's another thing.
It was a family of 5. I wouldn't get into detail, but the whole family was in the safe room, dead. A young family, young children. People that were really involved in the community. It's the kibbutz.
She's taking a lot of rocks. I get rocks. Anya's taking rocks? No, that one's the blonde-haired one.
Let's get that in the It's a mile and a half, not a kilometer. That's what he just told
Yeah,
me.
it's a mile and a half.
A mile. That's not far. I know, but I don't understand why we did it.
A mile is nothing. What's a mile?
What, a rocket is a gunshot?
These are not gunshots.
These are not gunshots.
No, you hear some.
Oh, those are also gunshots. Those are.
These are bombs.
Right, but why do we hear them? You don't have I thought we had put
That's
them
the
down
drone. See it?
Oh,
wow. That's the drone.
So what is it doing? It's gonna.
They provide aerial support to the ground.
someone to sit here if anyone wants to sit. That's what I want to know. Let's take a picture now.
Like the lighting is bad. Someone once asked me to bring something to
Everybody come into the
gel for
group
someone's
picture.
pay.
What?
Like, can you bring a gel to Israel? My cousin needs it for his pay.
This is just our bus.
2 buses. Those people have to come over.
I'll sit in the bed. I'll come sit there.
Good or bad?
I'll sit there.
It was a bad
David,
Come here. Come. Everybody into the front.
Those guys, they're not part of the picture. They have to get in.
First one without
Pittsburgh journalist.
The Lily
From the
journalist.
Allgemeiner.
of Allgemeine Journal.
They have a bench here. You can sit, come have a coffee and walk out.
Kimaran. Yeah, okay, I'll hold you to it.
Okay. Now, this is the sign.
Told them. It's okay, it's ours. I told them, Chazal says, Mashiach can't come if the generation is kulachayev, if it's guilty. Is guilty, then it cannot be if it's not guilty. It have to be half a half. So So if this is so that everybody of those volunteers says me, then it's so. Then this is something very, very, very difficult. So I told them, listen, we're gonna do it. This is the courage you gave me. I want to thank you. They thought I'm crazy. They were sure I was out of my mind, that something happened to me. I told them, everybody, we're sitting down now. In the blood, in the puddle of blood, we sat down. Let's hold our hands. Let's start to sing. We start to sing. Join me.
In every generation, there are those who rise up to destroy us, and God saves us
from every generation. He saves us. And then we went into another song, Ani Ma'amin, that we believe. And I took up my knife. I went to the victims. I cut the handcuffs, the plastic handcuffs. I asked from volunteers to hold their hands of those victims, and we're going to make a promise right now. We promised we will not leave this place or any place without respecting the remains and the lives. We will get to everyone. We will make sure they're going to be buried. Then, all of a sudden, one of our volunteers shows me the table that was in the middle, the food of this family, the holiday food. Those terrorists were eating it while they were torching the children. And we started a debate between us, thinking that did the parents see how the children were torched? Did the children, we are all father of children, we all parents, we all grandparents, grandfather, we all, and how can we go home? It's impossible for us to go home. They came to me and they asked me one thing. And when they asked me that was my second shock. I felt, you're talking about 40-year-old people of 5 children, 6 children, 7 children, and they have a normal life. This is what their request was. We want to take home our white suits that sucked with blood. We want to take it home. We want to be buried with this suit when we go, when we leave this world. You have to give them an answer. And again, I felt something came into my mouth. I don't know from where I got it. I told them, it's okay, it's ours. I told them, why do you want to do it? Because you want to go, when you go up, you want to show this is what we did. But then they'll think that you did only this family. Now they will know, if you don't take it with you, they'll know that you did 1,200 of those people, of those innocent people. Not only that, you know, they bought it. I don't know how they bought it, and they left it. Okay, y'all see, you're right. And we went on. and we did the job. We took them, and then we went on, and we saw even worse. But as I said, it was very hard for us. The impact is so badly, and the impact to us is when we came back due to our promise to respect them, and a part of this respect is to clean up the houses, to clean up the blood.